morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Can I ask everybody to take their seat, please? Good morning to all our welcome guests this morning, the parents that have joined us here in the hall. A special welcome, though, to the boys in Riley House watching in Tierney Hall this morning, and to our Year 5 men who are watching from their classrooms. It's a wonderful blessing to have a school that can't actually fit into the hall that is designed for everybody, but in order to make room for everybody this morning, those two groups are watching remotely so that we can offer a very warm welcome to those guests who have joined us. Normally at this point I would stand here and I would reel off an extensive list of the wonderful events that we'd be celebrating this morning. But this is the first of our academic assemblies for semester 1. And so there is really only one thing that we have gathered to do today, and that is to celebrate the academic outcomes of our years 10, 11 and 12 in 2023, and especially celebrate the academic excellence of our Year 12 class of 2022. And we welcome back the highest achievers of that year group and their parents this morning, and we celebrate their wonderful experience and achievements. I'm just going to wait a moment here because I feel that not everybody is as settled as we need to be. Nudgee College acknowledges the Turrbal people, the traditional custodians of these lands and waterways that they call Nudgee and Nada and we call Nudgee. We acknowledge their ancient customs and the law of the land, and we pay our respects and acknowledge all ancestors, elders and communities across this continent and its neighbouring islands. To commence this morning, please welcome James Boytle, Mission and Identity Prefect.
In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. In his letter to the Ephesians, St. Paul wrote, "I have not stopped thanking God for you. I pray for you constantly, asking God, the glorious Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, to give you spiritual wisdom and insight so that you might grow in your knowledge of God. I pray that your hearts will be flooded with light so that you can understand the confident hope he has given to those he called, his holy people who are his rich and glorious inheritance." Today we celebrate the academic achievements of many of our brothers. May we also remember that learning and knowledge are not commodities to purchase, but the path to wisdom and a gift from God. Holy wisdom, open my eyes to bask in your beauty. Open my mouth to speak tenderly. Open my heart to feel your unconditional love. Holy wisdom, may I be your image in the world. Amen. Lord Jesus in our hearts. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fulliger, members of the good morning, Mr. Fulliger, members of the CLT, parents and carers, and my fellow Nudgee brothers. Last week, we heard about how Nudgee and its teachers are a lighthouse for learning, how they are always there to help you learn and thrive in the classroom, but you must sail your own ship. Today, we will see last year's Year 12 academic achievements recognised, and the presentation of gold, silver and bronze awards for years 10, 11 and 12. These boys are also lighthouses for learning. They have made the same journey as you. They understand the difficulties of balancing sport, social lives, and studies. So I encourage you to talk to them, to ask them for advice, like what strategy studies work best for them, or how to structure a maths assignment. Maybe it's a quick 30-second chat in PC, or asking a Year 12 to proofread your Year 7 English assignment. Just remember, you're not the only ship at sea. There are 10,000 ships heading for shore. Some have already arrived, some are almost there, and some have just set sail. Your Nudgee brothers are there for you Monday to Friday, not just on Saturday. I'd now like to invite College Principal Mr. Fulliger to the stage to present some awards. It is my privilege to present the subject duxers for 2022. Please hold your applause until the end of each group. The first group of subject duxers are Harry Blackmore, Dux of Essential English and Dux of Industrial Technology Skills, who is unable to attend due to work. Andrew Brown, Dux of Ancient History. Oliver Bryans, Dux of Music. Edward Chapman, Dux of Agricultural Science. Oliver Evangelista, Dux of Drama. Hunter Everett, Dux of Modern History. Please congratulate our first group of subject duxers. Sam Fairley, Dux of Sport and Recreation, who is absent as he lives in far north Queensland. Joshua Ford, Dux of English and Literature Extension. Lockie Gray, Dux of Business Diploma, Co-Dux of Essential English, Dux of Essential Mathematics, who is absent as he's commencing new employment. Ryan Haddon, Dux of Business Cert 3, Dux of Engineering Pathways Cert 2. Joshua Hagenbach, Dux of Business, Co-Dux of General Mathematics. Please congratulate each of these subject duxers. Darcy Hardwick, Co-Dux of General Mathematics. Oscar Keith, Dux of Literature. Riley Law, Dux of Rural Operations, Cert 2. Inigo Lawrence, Dux of Economics, Dux of Legal Studies. Christopher Nelson, Co-Dux of General Mathematics. Nate Preen, Dux of Fitness, Cert 3. Please congratulate each of these subject duxers. Yashadan Rayani, Dux of Religion and Ethics. Connor Rowan, Dux of Construction, Apprentice of the Year 2022, who is absent as he's starting a new apprenticeship. Tom Sands, Dux of Design, Dux of Visual Art. Bailey Thomas, Dux of Accounting. Darcy Turner, Dux of Physical Education, who is away today as he lives in far north Queensland. Archie Wallace, Dux of Philosophy and Reason. Please congratulate each of our subject duxers. I'd now like to invite Mr. Sepatos, Dean of Learning and Teaching, to the stage.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, members of staff, parents and friends who are here and online, and boys both in Tierney Auditorium and here in the Christian Brothers Conference Centre. Before we introduce our high ATAR achievers for this year and our college Dux and Proximate assessor, it's worth thinking about the phrase on screen, which is education, not just certification. Words from Dr. Wayne Tinsey, who was the former head of the Edmund Rice Education Australia. And you might know his son, who might teach you, Mr. Tinsey. He came and spoke to the staff and he told us about what the fullness of achievement actually means in a school like Nudgee College. And to highlight this, he told a story about a time he spent in India, a place of marginalisation, disadvantage and lack of educational opportunity for some children, many of whom live in poverty. He visited an Edmund Rice school where the girls enrolled, that's right boys, the girls enrolled, incorporated service learning and demonstrated justice each school day by leaving the comfort and safety of their school grounds to visit nearby slums to provide basic lessons, sitting in the streets, to children who did not have the gift of education that you have. He spoke to one of those girls while she was teaching in the slums. This girl's family was very rich and influential in their community. They could have afforded any school, one's far more elite and segregated from the issues in her society if they chose. And he asked that senior girl why she did this when her family could afford a richer school that would shield her from the realities of the poor and the marginalised. Her response was simple and profound. I want to get an education, not just certification. Her message, and her message to you, is through those we serve that we are able to achieve. So the high academic achievers and our college ducks that I'm present today have reached the pinnacle of certification. They've received very high ATARs. They landed in the top 5% of 27,000 candidates across Queensland. That's an achievement. And they all have wonderful opportunities and post-school options, which you'll see as their bios come up when they're presented. But what they also have is a rich education underpinned by faith, service, and empathy for everyone in our society. They have a chance, along with all Nudgee college boys, to be Signum Fidei. What a Nudgee college education is about having the academic opportunity here and now to grab so you can get that certification. But not just for achievement. You can also become a man who has the courage to live the Spirit in the years to come. And I hope as you see these boys presented, you think about what difference you will make beyond your certification. I'd now like to invite Mr. Fulliger back to the stage, and we're going to present the high ATAR achievers. Please hold your applause until the end of the group. First to present is James Duffy, who scored 98.2, and a shout out to Miss Burton in Year 12 English. He's interested in aerospace and chemical engineering, and his advice to you is to stay well-rounded. And he loved boarding food on Friday night. I don't know what was on service there. Next is Alex Romano, also an ATAR of 98.2. And he loved the teaching of Miss Becker, Mr. Capello and Mr. Sen, and his favourite subject was economics. He's heading off to UQ to do an advanced business course, and he'd like to start his own business one day. And interestingly, organisation and time management, boys, that's the key from Alex. Elliot Brown received an ATAR of 98.35. He loved his philosophy and reason with Mr. Lee. He's not entirely sure about what he wants to do, but he's starting a Bachelor of Psychological Science, and he's looking to travel at some stage. And his most important lesson is determination and organisation can get you so far, and trying things outside your comfort zone. Ben Gunter, 98.5. He enjoyed maths methods with Miss Nardi, and he's off to study advanced finance and economics. And most interestingly, he wants to go to Wall Street or London to work in the finance world, so I wish him well with that. And he was also, his greatest moment was the undefeated volleyball premiership last year. Former school captain Harry Rawati, 98.6. He also enjoyed Miss Nardi's maths class. He's heading off to do physiotherapy up at James Cook University, and he also received the Vice-Chancellor Scholarship, and he hopes to study medicine one day. Lachlan Bancroft, 98.6. He loved all of his teachers, but he's listed a few of his favourite teachers there, Mr. Gibb, Mr. Sen, and of course Mr. Ayres. He's heading off to do Masters in Engineering at UQ, and we'd like to be a chemical engineer and also to travel. Key word for him, persistence. Thomas Malone, 98.75. He enjoyed maths with Miss Nardi and Miss Cummingham. He's also doing advanced finance and economics at UQ. One of the things he found was working hard and finding balance with an elite cricket career and also getting fantastic studies results. Ronan Prout received an ATAR score of 98.85. He enjoyed classes with Miss Danby and Mr. Sen. He's doing a Bachelor of Engineering and a Master in Robotics and Artificial Intelligence, which I'm interested in talking to him about more. And his advice is to take every opportunity as it comes. Can you please thank our high ATAR achievers for 2022? It's now my pleasure to present to you the highest achievers from Year 12. Our Proximate assessor with an ATAR of 99.45 is Lachlan Barrett. Please give him a round of applause. Just while we're getting organised for a photo, stay there, Lachlan. He loved all of his teachers, particularly chemistry with Miss Corley and SOR with Miss Danby. He's off to do a psychological science degree. He's not entirely sure of career aspirations, but perhaps being a psychologist one day. He hopes to keep singing, which I would love him to do because he's a great singer, and looking to travel overseas. And really importantly, you can always find a place in the world to belong, and he found that here at Nudgee College. His best experience was singing in the Battle of Bands in Year 12, and he was also the subject dux of biology, chemistry, Japanese, literature, maths methods, and co-dux of study of religion. Please give him another round of applause. And last but not least, of course, is our College Dux for 2022, Thomas Robinson with 99.5. Give him a round of applause, please. I'm going to talk about you. Yeah. I think they need to see that trophy, Tom. I think they really need to see it. Well done. Very good. Yeah. In a moment, Tom will address us, but as by way of introduction, he enjoyed maths and chemistry with Miss Nudgee and Miss Corley respectively, and also physics with Mr. Sen. He's been placed at UQ in a Bachelor of Engineering with honours and a Master of Engineering. His career aspirations lie in electrical engineering and aerospace. He'd like to finish that degree and then travel and learn and experience more new things, always learning. And the most important lesson Nudgee taught him was keeping close friends and family beside you, and that is the key to success, whatever that might look like for you. He was also a proud member of the 5th 11 football team and played with his friends in 2022. A message that we've talked about in Year 12 is to enjoy yourself as well as study, and he was also the co-dux of study of religion. I welcome our College Dux, Thomas Robinson.
Here I was, thinking I'm making my whole high school career without speaking in front of an assembly. And in a way, I guess I made it. But now here I stand with nearly 2,000 staff, students, friends and families before me. Welcome and good morning. Firstly, I want to congratulate the whole of the 2022 staff and cohort. With over 30% of students above an ATAR of 90, 14 school-based apprenticeships, 19 diplomas and 130 certs received, Nudgee boasts an incredibly diverse set of statistics rivaled by few others. Of course, I also congratulate my brothers here today for outstanding academic achievements. A question I've been asked on multiple occasions is simply, how did you do it? And while typically my response would depend on who's asking, I can tell you that there is truly no straight answer. Shocking. The truth is that you and everyone else in this room will reach their own unique goals in their own unique way, which is why giving my life story and 10,000 study tips will be of little help to the vast majority. However, I can apply my experience of the last 6 years to form some lessons that I can only help will aid in your journey, and not just for the seniors. The first of which is to find what works for you. Every single one of us is granted the privilege of attending such a great school under unique circumstances. And one of the perks of such an opportunity is the abundance of people here to help you through your journey. I assure you, you will learn many valuable lessons, though always remember to keep your eyes on your prize. A 99 ATAR, a certificate, diploma, apprenticeship, sports team, ensemble, or whatever that may be. If you have a passion, follow it, and know that sometimes the best advice is none at all. If something works for you, stick with it. That being said, no one is perfect. I know I'm far from it, and you're allowed to be too. There's always room for improvement, which is where this place comes in. At 8:20, when that bell rings, every teacher and every staff member is here to give you 100% of themselves. But at the end of the day, they're simply human, which is what makes their commitment to you, your studies, and your well-being all the more astonishing. Make the most of this kindness you are so generously offered to make every day worth it, both in and out of school. To the Year 11s and Year 12s, you will find countless opportunities over the next year or two to continue improving outside standard school hours in the form of subject masterclasses, tutoring sessions, and more. Use them alongside your brothers to gain a critical advantage that I assure you is not offered at every school in Queensland. Make the most of your privilege, your golden ticket. Now, Miss Dawn, if you thought I'd get through this without a cliche analogy, I'm sorry. But I do believe the journey we all follow can be described by a run. While I was never one to effectively balance academics, relationships, work, sport, etc. throughout Year 12, I did manage to squeeze into Opens cross country. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard or experienced the horrors of Limestone Park, a grueling course, especially after a few rainy days, and we can't forget the infamous Heartbreak Hill, summited twice in the run. Over the course of your journey, you'll undoubtedly experience similar hurdles. Already panting with a stitch in your side, your first ascent seems nearly impossible, though of course with the cheers of your brothers from the sidelines, you make it up. While the war cries and chants may be a norm, ritually repeated every Friday and Saturday, never forget that it is truly the support of those around you that ensures you make it up and over that hill. No matter how hard it might feel, never be afraid to reach out, even if it is only to that one you trust more than anything. On the other hand, never be afraid to check on your mates, cheer them on. Now with 5Ks down and 1 to go, you approach the hill for the second time. At the most demanding part of your journey, you summon the mental fortitude to remember simply how far you've come. How far you've come, and now how close you are to that PB you dreamt of, that ATAR, that cert, that apprenticeship. Miraculously, in this race, I kept moving, closing in on the finish line more than a minute faster than I'd ever predicted. In terms of the GPS, 70th place, but I was proud of one of the best runs I'd ever completed. It was what I deemed success, and as corny as it may sound, that's all that mattered. It's hard to remember, though, that success is temporary. Take your win and improve on it next time. Never get complacent and continue to strive for excellence. I've always found that healthy competition is the key to this. It's hard to let your guard down when you surround yourself with people far better than you are. These constant but always friendly rivalries propelled me forward from all angles, whether that was the boys in cross country, Ronan next to me in physics, Archie in literature, or Lockie in everything else, just to name a few. For that, I'm forever grateful, because it's these people that have undoubtedly pushed me to where I am today. Never once would I take their wins as a letdown, but as a goal or a challenge to overcome, hoping to push them back in return and make it to the finish line together. I told you to keep your eyes on your prize, but whatever that may be, one thing remains constant in success, and that is your ethic and attitude. You must ask where this ethic leads you. To finish a project, to write one more paragraph, finish that speech you told yourself you'd do 6 weeks ago, or simply make it to the end of the day. It's with this that I come to thank my Year 12 teachers, Mr. Sen, Miss Cawley, Miss Nardi, Mr. Mara, Dr. Lee, and Miss Dawn, for teaching me not only electromag, calculus, organic chemistry, or the Four Noble Truths, but the attitude to strive and to never stop running. Thank you for allowing me to cultivate a love of learning that alone can be held accountable for any successes I may achieve. I can thank Mr. Fulliger for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime all those years ago. I can thank Kath and Alana for introducing me to a group I've known and grown with since my first year. Shout out the LOB. I can thank Mum for her unwavering and unconditional support through everything. Dad, who'd work alongside me as late nights turned to early mornings, reminding me simply that it can be done. All the boys for keeping me sane. Truly, my list would continue for days, but there are many here and watching who know will forever have my gratitude. Cherish these moments, boys, and remember success is what you make it, so make it something you love and never stop chasing. I talk about a key to success as though there is one, but in truth, we just need to learn how to pick a few locks. To the seniors, good luck. While the year ahead may seem daunting, don't ever forget to enjoy yourselves. There's one last cliche to finish it off, but one that seems apparent to me now more than ever. It'll be over before you know it, so make 2023 a year to remember, not to regret. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom, for a wonderful speech. Boys, a lot to take out of that. We'll make sure we make that available to you. But working for you and sticking with it, do that. Imperfections are okay. I really love that. Also, I love an analogy, so well done for that, Thomas. But a few messages in there for you, boys. Success is temporary, always looking to improve the next time, not to become complacent, and strive for excellence with ethic and attitude. Lots more in that speech, but please put your hands together for one last time for Thomas Robertson. Take it with you if you want. Take it with you. It's now my pleasure to move on to the presentation of gold, silver and bronze medals, and I invite Studies Prefect Carter Corliss to the stage to commence that.
It is now my pleasure to commence the presentation of gold, silver and bronze academic awards. I ask Mr. Filliger back to the stage once more, please. Boys, results from Semester 2 2022 are used to determine today's award winners. Bit of criteria hopefully will come up behind me. Bronze awards are all A's in subjects but 3. Similarly, silver award A's in all subjects but 2, and gold awards all A's in subjects but 1. Today we will present gold, silver and bronze academic award recipients for years 10, 11 and 12, and similarly next week years 6, 7, 8 and 9 will be presented. Please hold your applause until the end of each group presented. In Year 9, the bronze award recipients are Michael Byrne, Angus Casey, Nick Cheney, Will Condon, Zane Henderson, Mark Hilly, absent today, Hilton Im, Kieran Lonagadacito, Jovan Singh, and Michael Williams. Can we please congratulate our Year 9 bronze medalists? In Year 9, the silver award recipients are Charles Dallymore, Oliver Duyer, Tom Duffield, Xander Isles, Ben Goggin, Hayden Hamilton, Diego King Scott, and Fergus Lyons. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 9 silver medalists? Also receiving a silver award today, Ryan Matthews, Will O'Reilly, Tanush Patel, Ryan Stewart, Sam Tully, and Mitchell Vivas, who's absent today. Can we please congratulate our Year 9 silver medalists? In Year 9, the gold award recipients are Tejas Ashok, Cooper Bernard Stower, Tom Bayo, Hugo Brooks Jones, Dermot Clancy, Joseph Costigan, Finn Curran, Gage Dipman, and Josh Eckersol. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 9 gold medalists? Also receiving Gold Award in Year 9 are Eric Fitzgerald, Matthew Heath, Andrew LaMonica, Sejin Lee, Christian Marsiglia, Rowan McNamara, Lachlan Mills, Will Newbecker, and Riley Nixon, who's absent today. Please congratulate our second group of Year 9 gold medalists. Our last group of gold award in Year 9 are Piers Parker, Jack Plowman, Alex Smith, Harry Stoneman, Char Tongia, Angus Twist, Jack Williams, Paddy Williams, and Fergus Wright. Can we please congratulate our Year 9 gold medalists? I would like now to welcome the Fellow Studies Prefect Aidan Easton to the stage.
Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, special guests, parents, staff, and Madam Nudgee. It is my privilege to present the academic awards to students in Year 10. Please hold your applause until the end. In Year 10, the Bronze Award recipients are Oliver Aylman, Charlie Bell, Lachlan Boone, Samuel Brown, Daniel Cross, Dominic Derbyshire Roberts, Gabe Jerry, Charlie Hallett, and Nicholas Harley. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 10 bronze medalists? Also receiving a bronze award in Year 10 are Will Hick, Robbie Hopkins, Hunter Ireland, Sam Cooley, Emerson Klitscher, Rio Lethbridge, Josh McDonnell, Fred Nash, and Isaac Parker. Can we please congratulate our second group of Year 10 bronze medalists? Also receiving a bronze award in Year 10 are Dusty Piper, Daniel Rostron, Matthew Roston, Zachary Shadforth, Lawson Swain, Matthew Walker, Noah Wilson, Flynn Zara, and Daniel Zicker. Can we please congratulate our final Year 10 bronze medalists? In Year 10, the Silver Award recipients are Liam Asprey, Finlay Burrows, Akira Chen, Xavier Katuli, Kai Dewan, Benjamin Ditchburn, Lachlan James, and Oliver Lanzilli. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 10 silver medalists? Also receiving a silver award in Year 10 are Will McGrath, Dominic Oswald, Bailey Rye, Avnish Sidhu, Jamie Waddington, Jack Walton, and Hugo Wendt. Can we please congratulate our final Year 10 silver medalists? In Year 10, the Gold Award recipients are Raphael Chase, Nicholas Conway, Thomas Deeren, Jed Elms, Ned Fairley, George Gillam, Ryan Crowe, and Michael Malone. Can we please congratulate our first group of Year 10 gold medalists? Also receiving a gold award in Year 10 are Divashan Naidu, Alex Paddy, Oscar Awadi, Benji Roots, Ole Spicer, Baxter Vole, and Dominic Weber. Can we please congratulate our final group of Year 10 medalists? I would now like to welcome back to the stage Mr. Sepatok.
Thank you very much, Aidan. Boys, thank you very much for your attention and the care you're showing for these boys being presented. Let's just reset, sit up, and maintain our focus on assembly. Thank you. I'm back here because the studies prefects who've done such a wonderful job can hardly present themselves. I'm pleased to say they're among the award winners. So we start with our bronze recipients, Tobias Berry, Xavier Bishop, Matthew Blums, Jonty Booth, Carter Corliss. Thank you, boys. Luke Cowley, Jack Duane, John Fitzgerald, Thomas Hanson, and Dunia Cambona. Please congratulate these boys. Our final group of bronze medalists today, Scott Lightbody, Xavier McLaughlin, Lachlan Meager, Jack Mitchell, Matthew Rebo DeBrasic, Elliot Shaw, Benjamin Slattery, Jesse Stewart, Emmanuel Taviri, Alexander Watkins, and Jack Weiss. Please congratulate these boys. We move on to our silver awards. Lucas Ayres, Thomas Kennellan, Jackson Copeland, Diesel Craven, Ned Donovan, Alistair Dunlop, Tom Isles, Darcy Franklin, and Sam Haynes. Please congratulate these boys. Also receiving a silver award, Christopher Hernick, Cooper Johnston, Kaya Joseph, Zachary Lewis, Spencer Marnie, Thomas Mallet, Mladen Markovic, and Alexander Mason. Please put your hands together for these boys. Also receiving a silver award, Alex Patterson, Joseph Rowland, Rowan Shirkadar, Patrick Snell, Callum Turner, Dylan Watson, Joe Wilson. Please congratulate these boys. We finish our presentations with the Gold Award recipients, and some of these boys might also be in line for the prestigious Platinum Award, which is getting golds every semester since at least Year 9. So I'll let them do the calculations as they stand on stage. Xavier Corrie, Dean Defteros, William Duffield, Aidan Easton, Daniel Fuller, Jacob Gillam, Mitchell Gray, Jack Gunter, and William Gunter. Please put your hands together for these gentlemen. Also receiving a gold award today is Oliver Keel. Patrick Kennedy. Kurt Lucas. And Wade Lucas. Paul McIver. Anthony Minio. Daniel Neal. And Harrison Palthorpe. Please put your hands together for these boys. Thanks, Ollie. Our final presentations, also a gold award, Patrick Townsend, Samuel Watson, Zeke Watters, Jack Weaver, Joe Wesh, Thomas Woodhead, and last but not least, Daniel Wright. Please thank these recipients and all of our gold, silver, bronze winners today. By way of completion of today's academic awards, thank you first of all, boys, for your witness to these wonderful achievements. Congratulations to all of our returning 2022 cohort, all our gold, silver and bronze recipients. Thank you very much to our studies prefects for leading today, and to everyone who's helped organise it, particularly to my PA, Mrs. Danette Booth, for all the work she does behind the scenes. And I would invite all of those members of the 2022 cohort and their guests to remain behind after the assembly for some photos and then to move off for morning tea. Thank you once again.
Courage to live the spirit, a calling, a question, a choice. Good morning, Mr. Fulliger, members of the CLT, staff, parents of award recipients, and my Nudgee brothers. Spirit is needed in a time like this, when the welcome is over and the work has begun. For the new boys who are still finding their way, or perhaps us seniors who are coming to terms with it being our last year, and all the problems found between start and finish. But spirit is also especially needed on terrace round. Many years ago, the Christian brothers made a decision that would spark a rivalry forever. After realising the concrete that surrounded the school Gregory Terrace could not contain the spirited boarders they had hoped to educate, came the idea to begin a boarding school on this sacred Nada and Nudgee ground that we call Nudgee. The boarders detached from Terrace and came to this place, and years later day boys joined them also. And here we are today, with boarding at our heart, 130 rich years of history behind us, and the blue and white butcher stripes that abide our blazer, we can comfortably sit here and say that we are our own school. Because of this, we have the pleasure of competing against our former brothers in sport. So with that being said, Terrace will look for a challenge this weekend, and is a challenge that we must give them. We will need all the spirit we can muster, but what actually is Nudgee spirit? Throughout my years at this college, many times I've been challenged by teachers when asked the question, what is Nudgee spirit? For a long time, the question always seemed to stump me. It's funny, it's like I kind of just assumed I had all the clue in the world. Yet when the younger me was asked this question, I always fell short of an answer that I thought did the powerful concept justice. The reason that it is difficult to describe is because it's applicable to so many aspects of a school with such vast opportunities and glory. However, during year 11, I decided to give that question more thought. I thought long and hard, and finally reached a point where I felt like I could sum it up in a way that might just do it a little bit of justice. So here goes. Nudgee spirit is the burning urge to scream your heart out in the grandstand. Or better yet, it is the small voice that encourages you to stand up for your mate, to support one another, and to include everyone. It's the ability to recognise our privilege and use it for the good of the community. And it's the discipline to avoid the temptation of distractions during your final weeks of study before exams. Or even the discipline to pay attention when times aren't as intense, recognising our principal's great wish that every lesson is your golden ticket and you shouldn't waste a second of it. Nudgee spirit is the desire to represent your school to the best of your ability, but equally the desire to support your brothers and be hopeful for their success. It is the desire to apply yourself to all aspects of school life in the hopes to create and foster an environment where each of you feel as though you belong and are valued. It is the action of you young men as students that will help bring you closer to your brother next to you, and the actions that ensure you are seizing every opportunity that this school passes into your hands. So boys, this week, don't just turn up for the spirit on Saturday or only to your classes. Live the spirit every day this week and apply yourself in school. Get to cheering practice on Friday so that come the weekend when you're intensely competing and debating cricket and volleyball or bellowing at the top of your lungs to support your brothers, you do so knowing that you've displayed the courage to live the spirit day in and day out. Thank you. And now, just quickly, the week ahead. On Wednesday, McKenna have their house breakfast and it's on at the Ross Oval Rotunda. Thursday is the start of our Semester 1 house masses with Barrett in the chapel. McGee and Riley have their house breakfast. McGee's in Teeny Auditorium and Riley in Ryan Hall. And we have 12 boys representing us at the GPS Music Showcase. So good luck to those boys. Friday is Blue and White Day. So boys, please note that this is not free dress, but it is blue and white dress. Shore House breakfast is in the Teeny Auditorium, and our swimmers head out to Chandler for the TSS meet. And we have cricket launch. They launched their season on Ross Oval, and debating right after that at 6:15 p.m. Friday night, Teeny Auditorium. Boys, we want a big crowd to start the weekend off right and knocking terrace off straight away. So get your full uniform on and get down there and watch. Saturday, there's the third rowing regatta at Warralong is being hosted, and cricket versus GT at home, just the same as volleyball. Cricket's at 10 and volleyball's at 12:15. And like I said, boys, we're going to need a big crowd out there, so get in your full winter uniform and come down to support your brothers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan, for that reflection on Nudgee spirit. Parents who are here with us, those who are the parents of old boys of the college now, and those parents who are here with us who are so proud of boys in year 10, 11 and 12. To staff, to those boys in year 5 and in Riley House, thank you for your attention so far. And to boys of Nudgee, good morning, men. Boys, you've been terrific today. It's a long assembly when there's a lot of handshaking, and that's one of my particularly special gifts, is being able to shake hands. I've done a lot of that over the years here. It's always a great pleasure. I'm delighted that assembly, or the presentation assembly of academic awards, we've had to split into two because of the number of boys who receive gold, silver or bronze awards has increased over the years. So that's a terrific indication of something happening in classrooms around the school. So to all those boys. There are other awards for new boys who are here at the school. There are other awards. You might think, I can't ever get a gold, silver, bronze. There are other ways we acknowledge excellence in this school as well, except besides through excellence. I would encourage you to look for those opportunities through here. So, Thomas Robertson, the pinnacle of Nudgee College, to be the College Ducks, is the pinnacle of excellence and pinnacle of achievement within this school. It was possible to acknowledge that at the end of awards night, which comes at the end of each school year. The way the system works now, we acknowledge it here today. So boys, every one of you could aspire to be Thomas Robertson, to be the best you can be. And Tom, I want to congratulate you on that achievement. It is absolutely outstanding to be the Dux of this school, the Dux of any school, but in this school is the pinnacle of all that we do in every year at this college. So you join a long list of 132 other men on that list. So I just want to congratulate you very, very much from my heart to you, to congratulate Tom. One of the things about Tom, some of you, many boys will be sitting there, perhaps in year 12 this year or year 11, you're going, well, I've never seen Tom Robertson before. Well, you would have. He was always coming up on assembly to receive an award. Rest of the time, he was a quiet achiever. You've heard me talk many times. The quiet achiever at Nudgee is the benchmark for where we want to be. He's your classic quiet achiever, driven and working hard and focused on his schoolwork and driving to his prize, as he talked about in his assembly. Few of you knew him. His teachers, his parents, and his mates knew how hard he worked, not just last year in year 12, but throughout his journey here at Nudgee College. Thank you for your metaphor of the run at cross country. I think it's a terrific metaphor, whatever Miss Daunt might think. I loved his honesty about the speech and really authentic themes that all of us, we may never be ducks, but we can aspire to be, to persist, to be resilient, to not giving up. They are qualities all of us can have in all things that we do. Every one of you, and we've talked already on assemblies previously, about seeking help from your teachers. So why we're here, boys, is to help you find yourself, to help you find success, to help you overcome difficult moments. Seeking improvement is something that Tom certainly aspired to as well. And taking that opportunity. I do remember interviewing a young Tom Robertson to come to the college. A quiet young boy at that stage, but an outstanding young boy, even then as a primary school boy. So Tom, congratulations. The one thing that stood out for me in that speech as well was a spirit of gratitude. He expressed it in his speech towards the end of boys. He acknowledged the boys and his mates, some of them who were here, who pushed him to achieve. He acknowledged the teachers who supported him throughout his year 12, but also the years prior to that. And importantly, he acknowledged his parents as well. So that spirit of gratitude is something that we should also carry with us as well. And in mentioning parents, I'm so pleased that so many of you are here. Boys, we should never forget the sacrifice your parents make to send you to the college. There's a financial sacrifice for sure. But there's lots of sacrifices that you as a young boy or a young man will never know. The quiet things your mum and dad do, unseen and unknown to you, the sacrifices they make every day to make your journey as possible here at Nudgee. So boys, to the parents who are here, but also your own parents who are perhaps at home, I want you to put your hands together to acknowledge them for their sacrifice. In congratulating Tom, I also want to acknowledge Lachlan Barrett, who is an outstanding Proximate assessor, consistent achievement, outstanding achievement year upon year from Lachlan. But it's also to all the boys who are back here and those who couldn't make it today to the year 12 class of 2022. We had a fantastic finish to school year last year down on Ross Oval. So it's terrific to ask you to come back today to acknowledge you and your achievement. And we wish you well for your studies and work and all those things that are ahead of you. You are very welcome. I know many of you will be back here helping out in a variety of ways at the school, boys. I know you left here with a great sense of pride back in November. I hope you leave here today, perhaps in a different way. You're not in the uniform. You're not heading off to period 1 or period 2, as you can remember doing so for year upon year. You're heading off into other things, big, bold adventures. We want to wish you well and be proud Nudgee men and boys. I'd ask you to congratulate all those year 12 boys from last year. There can only be one college Ducks, there can only be one college captain, and the quality of the school isn't judged by the Tom Robertsons or Jacob Gillams, as outstanding as they may be in a particular year. The depth of the quality of the school is resting upon each of you, and you've heard that message today from Ethan. You also heard it from Mr. Sepatos as well. It's that collective effort from each of us that makes the difference. We aspire to excellence at Nudgee. We set high standards at Nudgee. Excellence doesn't have to equal a gold medal. Excellence doesn't have to equate with an academic prize. But it is being the best that you can possibly be in all ways, boys. And there's a challenge in all of that. And I hope you boys, as you've come into the school in these first couple of weeks and you've sat through assemblies and heard some really key messages, one of those messages to take the opportunity you get by coming to Nudgee and to do the very best that you can in whatever area. And Tom in his speech didn't reference just academics. He talked about that certificate. He talked about that apprenticeship. He talked about a whole range of things that you can set your eyes on that prize. And we talked about, when he came back a couple of weeks ago, your goals and ambitions for this year. Please don't forget them. Congratulate also the Year 10s and 11s and now the Year 12s on their achievement in gold, silver and bronze. And we look forward to presenting the boys in other grades next week as well. Great to have ability and great to have that ability recognised. And to pick up a theme of Mr. Sepetos's, it's about what you do with that ability that's so important, boys. Yes, to be good at your studies or whatever that is that you might be good at. In this case, it's studies. But what do you do with it? How do you take that ability to help others? Many of these boys here work with their mates to raise the standards. Little study groups, groups of one or two, groups of 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 guys, boys working together, helping each other to be better. Boys going out of their way to help others. And if I could highlight a young man like Jacob Gillum, all right, amongst others, I know there's other boys there, Lockie Barrett was the same last year, who would do reading with other boys who struggle. Take their ability and before school are oftentimes doing one-on-one tuition for boys who battle academically, boys who battle with their reading. So yeah, aspire to be good, but also aspire to use whatever ability you have, what talent, what success you have to help others. Boys, by way of closing, we've been so blessed since last week. Last Friday, for those of us who were here, 3 excellent speeches. Father Bonnie's homily. I don't think I've had any, I can't ever remember a priest being, the comments that I've received from parents, from staff and boys about Father Bonnie's homily last Friday. Absolutely inspirational. Likewise, Jacob Gillum's speech to you here, the school body, but also his speech to his Year 12 cohort a couple of weeks ago now. And then Leanne Lennard, the member for Nudgee, who spoke to you at the end of assembly. Boys, really that the message I heard around there from each of those 3 speeches was about belonging, finding your sense of belonging. And we oftentimes talk about that Nudgee. Ethan picked it up in his speech, that sense of belonging to something bigger than ourselves. Yes, we aspire to be successful academically or in sport or culture, whatever it may be. But that success is for a greater good, the greater good of Nudgee, for sure, but the greater good of mankind, humankind, to be a better place as well. We aspire to be. Build a connection into this school, but making a better world out beyond us, being that signum fidei. So let's take some of those words of Father Bonnie, Tom Robertson and other speakers who you've heard over the last few days, boys, and as Ethan so put it so well at the end of his speech, academic success, signum fidei, doesn't mean a lot unless next period, today, each one of us has the opportunity to enact that the best we can in our classes, in how we treat each other, how we give our best in class, how we create a sense of belonging. Is my action at morning tea to a boy I don't like one that senses a message of belonging or rejection? How do we work with each other, boys, in this big, busy school? There's a challenge for all of us in all of that to be better. So, boys, have a great day, a good week. Thanks for our old boys back. Thanks for parents. Thank you very much.
Morning, everyone. Could I echo Mr. Fulliger's comment about Ethan's fine words, and also, while I'm there, acknowledge the wonderful start of our captains, prefects, big brothers and senior class. Gents, the way you have begun your leadership journey has been extremely impressive. The energy and support that you have delivered to all areas of college life is something you should be really proud of, and we look forward to that continuing. A couple of quick reminders as we go. Ethan talked about uniform expectations on across the weekend, so please make sure you get onto that. On Friday and Saturday, if I could just touch on the difference between cheering on Ross Oval and in Tierney Auditorium at debating. So naturally, when we're there to support the debating, we need to have a level of etiquette. Okay, so sure, support your team, make plenty of noise, but while our speakers from both teams are on the stage, that's when you are silent. One last thing on our cheering, we received so many wonderful affirmations after last week about how well that you have begun slowing down the war cry, another legacy, early legacy of our seniors of this year. So well done on that and keep up that great work. Gents, we'd hoped to do the inter-house swimming results today, but we're a little tight on time, so I'm just going to torture you a little bit and we'll leave that till next week. A big focus now, our first week of full classes this week. Let's get into period 2 and make the most of every opportunity we have. Before we leave, please welcome college senior Spencer Frame to give his 3 cheers. All right, I'd now like to thank our guests for joining us and ask our parents to leave first. So thank you for being here. Wonderful thing about our community is the support we have of the parents. And the old boys' parents, you may also leave first. Thank you. Yeah, okay, great. Now, Year 10 men, we are only packing up chairs behind Mr. Carmody. So you can see Mr. Carmody in the middle. So the pack up only is behind him. If the boys on Henry Oval side, please move to period 2 urgently. If Miss Kate Burgess-McGrath, if you're still there, if you could come down the front, please, to help us with the photos of our old boys. Okay, gents on McKillop's side, please, you may leave. Thank you.